Welcome back. Episode number 9 of the Coyote Football Stats Show. I am Phil Morgan.
I'm Blake Grundy, and Week 9 is in the books. Episode 9 going right now. Our Coyotes come out with a victory.
Mm-hmm.
It was a close one.
Really close. In the rain.
Closer than we wanted. I think the elements had a little bit to do with it, but at the end of the day, they walked out with a 21-20 victory in Paris.
Yeah.
And I tweeted it out. Whether you win by 1 or 100, it goes in the record books as a W.
It does. I mean, a W is a W at the end of the day. So,
and I'm excited. We're gonna talk about this next Friday night here in just a second. But what I need you guys to do at the top is a few things.
Oh yeah, you don't want to miss our take.
No, you don't want to miss our take. So
our takes are so good.
What I need you to do. Hey, they come off the top of the dome scalding hot because there's no hair to get in the way of either of us of our takes.
Lightning hot.
That was a bald joke. If it was good or it was bad, I don't know. If it was good enough, he'll leave it in.
I think we just lost subscribers.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications. Do all of those things, right? Make sure that you're able to see it. Make sure that you're sharing so that other people can see it. Because at the end of the day, this is us celebrating our team.
That's it. That's what it is. And listen, there was a lot of talk in the stands after that game. We'll be honest. We'll put it out there just like we always do. There's a lot of talk in the stands after that game that was an ugly win.
It was.
There's a lot to learn. There's a lot for these guys to go back, look at film, evaluate, work on, and get ready for a big game coming up.
100%. You know what? Like it's one of those you walk away feeling a little bit dissatisfied in the way it was won, but at the end of the day, like I think about the Broncos-Chiefs game from this past weekend, where the Chiefs, one of the best teams in the NFL, walk away losing.
Right.
Let's call it what it is, one of the worst teams in the NFL. And so any given week, something can happen. And so at the end of the day, what you have to do is have the grit and determination to walk away with a victory. And our Coyotes did that.
Yeah. And when you can overcome whatever it was that led to how close this game was. And there's we're not gonna armchair quarterback this. We're not gonna Monday morning coach it. We're just gonna it is what it is. We gotta win. And that's what we care about here is that these guys got another win. They're undefeated in district. They're gonna go to clinch and win district, hopefully at home. Right?
At home.
They get a chance.
Springs.
They get a chance to do that.
Yes.
And it's going to be on them, whether or not that happens. It's going to be on them. So I think you look at that and you can't be anything but excited. Like there is an awesome opportunity sitting in front of them.
There's an awesome opportunity. And I have just honestly a huge belief in these players to get it done. And I have a giant belief in this coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
To make the adjustments necessary to watch the tape and to hold these kids and themselves accountable.
Yep.
These are fantastic coaches.
They are. And they listen, it's so funny to me. Like I know it's kids and parents of kids and everybody's invested emotionally and
sure.
But these guys are too. Like this is their livelihood. This is what they do for a living. So don't for 1 second think that they're not invested into this. Like this
100%.
This is as important to them as it is to anybody else on that field. And so, yeah, these guys are amazing. And there's not a single coach on that staff that I would look at and be like, not one.
So just a reminder for everybody, our Coyotes from top to bottom, coaches to players, they care, and they're going to come out ready to fire. So, hey, with that being said, let's look backwards a little bit. Let's talk about our offense.
Let's do it.
Well, hey, I get to bring us in talking about our quarterback. Okay, he had a pretty good day in the midst of the rain.
Yep.
So Zai, you came out. You're going to get 2 stickers on the day. Number 8, our quarterback went 19 for 29 for 184 yards. And so his first sticker is for that 19 for 29 effort. That brought him to 65.5% completion percentage.
There you go.
And so just edging right at our threshold, which is 65%. So that's that sticker. Look, what matters is that you're taking those passes and completing them and giving your skill positions, your weapons, your players a chance to move the ball up the field and do their job and highlight their talents. And so when you complete 65.5%, that gives them the opportunity to do that. That's a sticker. That second sticker for Zai is for 3 touchdowns. And so he's getting those 2 stickers, but just a couple of ancillary stats. Ooh, ancillary.
That's ancillary. Look at you, man.
Ooh, that's a word right there.
Bringing out the big words. Everybody, go ahead and get your dictionaries. Pull up your phones. Take a look.
I don't know where that one came from, but it came from somewhere.
Hey, Siri, what does ancillary mean?
Wait, Siri, stop listening. Hey, some extra stats for you. That's what that means. 117.6 QB rating, which is pretty darn good.
That's pretty good.
And he also added 82 rushing yards on the day. And so Zai really had a pretty good performance. Like, I'm just going to be honest, it wasn't his best of the season.
No.
But he still showed up in some key areas.
There was that drive. There's one drive where I think he probably got half of those rushing yards. It was in, and I remember that drive specifically.
Sure.
I mean, it was critical. It was an important drive. We needed the points, and he just started running and running. And it was electric. It was really exciting to see those moments. And there were flashes of brilliance here, right? And that's the thing that we have to remind ourselves is, you're getting to the point where you want to be playing your best football. We're not quite there, but we're getting there, right? Going into playoffs, you want to be playing your best football. And I think that Zai is having these games, right, where it's not quite all together yet, but it's coming together.
Sure.
And it's going to happen.
Sure, 100%. And sometimes games like this also allow teams to go back and just double down and completely refocus. It's a long season. Yep. You could talk to any of the coaches, any players. It is a long season. And there are going to be moments that you need to help refocus and re-engage. And honestly, something like this right before the playoffs, just for our team as a whole, is one of those refocus moments. And so I'm just going to be really honest. I know we're talking about the offense. I wouldn't want to be Sulphur Springs on Friday night because I think you're going to see a focused team. But that was Zai. 2 stickers, 19 for 29, 184 yards, 65% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 117.6 QB rating, 82 yards rushing.
Wow.
I'm out of breath. Phil, take it over, please.
So here's the thing, overall rushing, Zai was actually our rushing leader.
He was.
We didn't really have any standout stats. Our guys did what they needed to do when they were called on for the most part, but just in terms of rushing, this was not a rushing game for us. And in the rain, in some ways, that's a little shocking to me. Because mostly when you see these running games, you see coaches kind of get a little more conservative and they kind of pull back. But I think with Zai's ability to rush, his athletic capabilities of getting outside that pocket, he took that burden on himself. And so we don't have a whole lot of rushing stats to talk about, but we do have some receiving stats.
We do. Hey, real quick, I will say when we did run the ball, we averaged 5.4 yards a carry as a team.
So
that's still tremendous.
We're still efficient in that regard.
And we ran the ball 25 times and passed it 29. There was still balance there.
There was balance. Oh, gosh. How many times are we sitting in the stands and we're hearing things being yelled? It's like you just open up your eyes, pay attention. If you're not
going to trust.
Yeah, if you're not going to sit there and track the plays, you probably shouldn't be yelling, "We need balance, because there was plenty of balance in that game. There was.
All right, so talk about our receiving core.
Let's get to these receivers because they did some really good stuff. Okay, so number 2, Sean Steens comes out and he has a really good game. He gets 7 receptions on the day. He gets 57 yards, but he hits pay dirt. He gets into the end zone, gets himself a touchdown. So he gets a sticker, and he's going to go up on the helmet for that.
And his touchdown came right before the halftime break.
Yeah.
That allowed us to go into halftime 7-7. So that was a big one.
That was big. It leveled that playing field again, brought it back to that even game.
Yes.
So when you come back after the half,
for sure,
it's almost like starting fresh. So Emmers got on the board. Emmers shows up, number 11. He gets himself a sticker. He had 5 for 51.
Yes.
So he gets 51 crucial yards, but one of those catches was for a touchdown. Again, all of our touchdowns came through the air.
They did
in this game, every single one of them. So say what you will, typically in a game where there's as much rain as we had, most of your touchdowns are coming on the ground, and in this game it was completely opposite, which is so foreign and weird to me, but it is what it is. They got the points in.
The ground made it hard to cut back, and we saw a couple times with our running backs trying to cut back near the goal line and just losing their footing.
Yeah, lots
which
of
you don't normally see. So Steens, Emmers, who else?
And number 80, Mr. Bowen.
Mr.
Bowen shows up, makes a great play. He had 3 catches, made them count. He got 43 yards and a touchdown. That accounts for our 21 points on the game. Those 3 guys coming in together, all put a sticker on the board. We're super proud of you guys. Listen, anytime we get a win, it's another opportunity to look towards y'all and to tip our cap and to recognize the kind of hard work and determination it takes to stay on top of a game that gets that close. It's a psychological advantage to you guys. When you can come away from these hard-fought, gnarly games in weather, you're teaching yourself something that is absolutely invaluable and can't be taught unless you're on the battlefield, unless you're in 100%. The arena of competition, and you walk away stronger. So congratulations, guys. That was really that was a gutsy game.
It was a tough game, but our offense did just enough.
Yep.
Right, they did just enough to make sure that They gave our death squad what they needed to do their job. And so let's take a break to hear from our sponsors, and then let's talk about the defense.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Thank you to our sponsors. We're moving over to the death squad. We're moving over to the defensive side, and I get to talk about number 5, the man that showed up with a hit to start the game
right out of the gates.
That I told you today in the office as we're getting ready for the show. I was going back and watching some of the game film, and just that first hit that Jaden Mason Davis, number 5, put on their receiver. They tried a little pass out, and Jaden said, "Nah, I got this." Little swing pass, and Jaden, nope, you're going to take a loss. And it felt like the game was going to be off and running from there. It ended up not being that way, but Jaden Mason Davis showed up big. He had 4 total tackles on the day, but he's going to get 2 stickers because 2 of his 4 tackles were tackles for a loss. And anytime you have a cornerback, someone from your secondary coming downhill and disrupting plays and getting tackles for a loss, it changes the trajectory of what the offense is going to do. And so Jaden Mason Davis, number 5, you're getting 2 stickers. We see you, brother, coming into the backfield and making big tackles.
Big, long kid. Such a long kid. His potential is just off the charts.
100%.
So I'm gonna transition and talk about the man,
the myth,
the legend, number 7, Grayson Stewart.
I love it.
Here we go. Listen, he led the team. When it came to tackles this week, he absolutely led the team, and it was unquestionable. 16 total tackles.
Yes.
In this game, 16 tackles. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be really transparent here. I was surprised it was just 16. As much as there's a picture that's floating around. Danny McFadden, by the way, big shout out to Danny McFadden.
Shout out Danny McFadden.
Danny, listen, man, you always say I capture what's in front of me, and I try to capture it the best I can. And you do, man. There's somehow you get these images, you get these pictures. There's a picture of Grayson on a play where it appears as though he is just kind of floating above the line, just like floating and moving towards the kick. It's just Grayson.
He might as well be.
And I'm going to put it on here. You guys are going to see it probably while I'm talking about it, but it was just incredible and a great game, Grayson. It just goes to show the motor you've got. It goes to show the drive and the absolute grit of your personality. 16 tackles, you got a tackle for loss and a massive fumble recovery. What an incredible play. Right,
so that adds up to 3 stickers based on ours. What am I missing? What did he do to get the 4th sticker?
What did he do? Did he have another sticker?
He did.
Are you sure?
Big play.
No.
Grayson making a big play?
Grayson doesn't do that, does he? Absolutely he does. Listen,
he does.
Goal line stop. Game saving goal line stop.
Sure.
They were going for the 2-point conversion. They wanted the win right there.
They get that touchdown to make it 21-20. That little middle screen that the running back ends up bouncing to the outside. They get the touchdown.
And then they make the choice. They're gonna go for the win right there.
They made a business decision.
And it was a bad business decision.
Well, I'd say we made a better business decision on betting on our death squad and our 4 horsemen.
Listen, last night you couldn't lose betting on Grayson Stewart. Incredible game, kid. 4 stickers go for him onto the helmet, and it was a lot of fun to watch that.
Yeah. Look, big time players make big time plays in big time games and in the biggest moments of those big games.
And he was in all of that.
He was in all of that.
Every single one of them.
But he wasn't alone. Another one of those big time players is Brandon Green Jr.
Yes, sir.
Number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, he had 6 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and that was Brandon Green does such a good job. Okay, he doesn't always get all of the giant numbers of tackles, but he does such a good job of when teams try to run and they try to run to the outside, he eats up blockers and makes the plays string along so that CJ and Grayson or Abram can come in and clean up the play. And so it goes unheralded a lot, but Brandon Green Jr. is an absolute monster every single week, and he is a beast to deal with.
And so tough.
Yes.
Mentally, physically tough. He got hurt before the half, right? He came kind of limping, hopping off the field. And, we got to see from the backside kind of what was going on because, the tent was kind of right in front of us where we were sitting. And you could see him working. He didn't want to be out of that game. No. He did not want to be out of that game. And he was stretching and doing everything he could to get himself back and ready. Thankfully, it happened with a couple minutes before the half, and he was able to get rehab to get himself back in that game. And listen, when you're in the game, man, you're a disruptor. And it showed this week. And I think Grayson was a massive recipient for all the hard work you put in. But that's what makes you guys so special is the unit kind of mentality, don't you think?
100%.
I really feel like that's so much of what makes this death squad so powerful is that they're there for each other and they're there for the ultimate goal.
Yes, and so we're reflecting on all of this, right? And there have been people, why are they being nicknamed the death squad? I mean, one, look at the amount of points we give up each week. It's very low.
Yeah.
It's very low. But because in the biggest moments, there's not a different 11 people I'd rather have out on that field. When it comes down to that game time and they decide to go for 2, I was like, they're going for 2? Great.
Yeah, what other nickname do you want us to give them?
Like I had supreme confidence in that moment that Grayson's the one that came up with that tackle, but I had supreme confidence that any 11 of those players on the field
could make
that play, including I'm going to nickname him Mr. 1000 Watt.
Smile, Mr. 1000 Watt.
Mr.
Smile.
1000 Watt.
Mr. 1000 Watt. Nathan Nickerson, number 23.
Next on the board.
We really do. We have really started to appreciate this kid for so many different things. Not only is he a great football player, and his stats are starting to back that up. 6 tackles this week, 2 tackles for loss. A sack is thrown in the midst of that, and a big one at a really big time.
Yes,
and I know
he was hyped on it.
He was
rightfully so.
And I think he laid his body out for that one. Like he came up a little hobbled at first after that play. And again, he's another guy. Got right back out, did his thing, and continued to sacrifice so that this win was going to be secured. And so Nathan Nickerson, number 23, you end up with 3 tackles or 3 stickers, on this. Not 3
he
tackles.
Had more than 3 tackles.
You had 6 tackles, but you end up with 3 stickers on this game. And that's for the two tackles for loss in that sack. Man, incredible game, kid. Incredible game.
Just massive.
But he can't. I mean, he's not alone.
No, he's not. Another guy that just holds down the middle of the field. Right, we joked about it like at the beginning of the season. We joked about it last season, but you don't want to come across the middle of the field because you know who will be there? Number 35.
He's there.
The dude.
He's going to be there.
CJ Miller.
Yep.
You had 10 tackles on the night, brother. You're going to get a sticker up on that board.
Yep.
10 tackles is a phenomenal game. Listen, I was like, hey, this feels like a down game for CJ. We're only giving him 1 sticker,
right?
Which is phenomenal. When 10 tackles feel like a down moment for a player, that's how you know he legitimately is a dude. And so, look, I'm going to run through some stats. CJ is number 42 in the state for total tackles with 110 tackles on the season. That puts him in the top 500 nationally, which is phenomenal.
Deservedly so.
The man owns the middle,
yeah,
and then he somehow owns the sidelines. And then somehow he owns that secondary part of it, like the guys all over the field. And so for him to come away with 10 tackles, 10 timely tackles is big. And so, CJ, we see you week in, week out doing your job. You're getting on the board with 1 sticker.
Yes, sir. And then not far behind, Mr. Abram Greer. Abram Greer, number 42.
Sir blocks a lot.
Sir blocks a lot. And it's getting around, right? People are starting to catch on to that one. That's fun. Number 42, you get 7 tackles on the day and a tackle for loss, which means we're going to put a sticker on the board for you. Listen, the superlatives just keep flowing for you guys, but the reality is you're working great as a team. And we're going to roll from number 42 right into our last guy. You want to hit it?
Number 99.
Hit it.
Alex Martinez. Yep. Another senior on our defense. Yep. He has 4 stickers total on the night.
4.
All right, let's run through them.
4
8 tackles. 8 tackles. That's a sticker because that puts you at 3rd place on the team behind Grayson and CJ. Yep. 8 tackles. That's 1. 2 tackles for a loss. Count them. 2 more stickers. Look at that right up there for 3. And then he got a sack.
Bam.
For his 4th sticker of the night.
The Wolverine.
This was by far, like, Alex has had some really good moments and had some really good games. This was by far Alex's best game, in my opinion, of the season.
Without a
doubt. Paris had some big old boys running the ball, and they were wanting to run up the middle, and Alex Martinez was doing his job of not just taking up space and taking up gaps, but then, like, getting tackles.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And so, Alex Martinez, we see you. Death Squad, we see you. Overall. Coming up big on the night. Great job.
Way to go, defense. Really good. So what we're going to do is now we're going to transition to our last section, and it's going to be special teams. So let's give them a little shout out.
Let's do it.
All right, well, here it is. Last part, special teams. It's where we end our broadcast almost every single week.
It is.
Mr. Hinckley, number 28, shows up again. The kid has become, I guess we'll call him Mr. Automatic.
Okay.
When it comes to PATs, he's been 100% for how many weeks now?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot. Like I think for the last 6 weeks, we've been talking about Hinckley being 100%.
I mean, without turning around and looking at our board and doing the math, we've had 9 games. Maybe there's been 1 game where he's missed a
and
PAT.
I think it was like the second or third game of the season, but it hadn't been the issue lately. And Mr. Hinckley, listen, every week when those PATs roll around, we know we can count on you. Your team can count on you. You're 100%. I know it's a high standard. We talk about that a lot, but it's an absolute must, and this game proves why.
Yeah, I mean, getting a 1-point victory, and the reality is if Hinckley misses even one of those extra points, Paris is in the situation where they don't go for 2. They just try and kick the extra point and take the lead, and now we're having to respond.
Yep.
But because you did your job, it allowed Grayson Stewart and our death squad to get the stop they needed to do to then allow our offense to run 3:12 off of the clock, which is a long time to run off the clock when the other team had 2 or 3 timeouts left.
Yeah, they had several.
And I mean, it's just you did your job, and this is why we shout this out.
Yep.
Right. This is why we talk about PATs and why we talk about the importance of them.
I knew there'd be a moment. I didn't want it to happen.
Right.
We don't ever want that to happen because we want our offense to roll, baby. But we knew there'd be a moment, and this is that moment. This is why we've stressed that for so long. So, Hinckley, you did an incredible job again, and so we're putting your number back up on the helmet again for a sticker for you, and I guess we're rolling in now. I mean,
we're getting, enough looking backward. Let's look forward.
Here we go.
Okay, so Friday,
yep.
we're coming into November 3rd. Friday, November 3rd, we have our last official home game of the season. Okay, playoffs are rolling around the corner.
Man.
It's bittersweet. Last home game means the last tailgate.
Last tailgate.
So let's talk about the tailgate. What's happening at the tailgate before we get into the game?
So, we set up a tailgate spot every single week. We have a football toss game that an inflatable football toss. Yeah, 3. We have a big tent so you can see where we're at. We do a competition every single home game for the Grill Master, and they're vying for a $100 gift card and this custom grill with the Coyote logo on it. It says Grill. I think it says Grill Master.
It says Grill Master
on it, and so it's kind of a neat little. It's a neat little trophy that you can hang on your wall when it's all said and done.
Oh, yeah. Or cook on it. You could cook on it too.
If you got a Komodo Junior, you could cook on this thing.
100%. Or you could go get a Komodo Junior just to cook on it.
Just to do it. You could sear your steaks on the Coyote logo.
Saying.
Come on. How cool would that be?
Look at us. Look at us.
But anyway, here's the deal: is with the Grill Master competition, they're doing tacos this week, so it's tailgate tacos, man.
Tailgate tacos. Pick your protein. They can do whatever protein they want.
Whatever protein they want.
Or not a protein, I guess.
I mean, if you want to go a little vegan and do something a little different.
Vegetarian, whatever.
A little vegetarian action. I mean, you can. I don't know who the judges are yet, so you got to be careful with that. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there.
Right. So we're doing tailgate taco.
Tailgate taco.
Hey, I had to turn some people away. They were like, well, we're going to cook for the last home game. We're going to come up and enter the competition. I said, sorry.
You had your chance.
I love you guys, but that's for champions only.
You can still cook. You can still bring it out. You can still have fun and party and enjoy the pregame festivities. The competition's locked in.
But so you said it's for the great. It's for the gift card.
For the gift card.
For the jerky.
For the jerky. For the love of jerky.
For the love of jerky. Be there. So we start tailgating at 5:30. That competition, the judging will happen right about 6 o'clock. 6:10.
6:10.
The judging will happen at 6:10. Okay. So you'll want to be there for that, and then the Coyote Walk is at 6:30. You don't want to miss it.
So it's the last home game opportunity to be a part of this.
It is.
Bring your kids out. Let's make sure this last home game is everything it should be.
Everything it should be, because it's also the most important home game of the season,
without a doubt.
Right? We are 4-0 going into our final district game. We are playing Sulphur Springs, who is also 4-0 going into the final district game. We are both 8-1 on the season. Look, this is for the district title, but this is also for the first ever back-to-back district championship in school history. So if the Coyotes win on Friday night, they once again set another historical marker.
Let's bring the noise, guys. Like, it's time. Come support these guys. They've been scrapping and fighting all season long. It's time. It's time to bring it out. Like, let's make sure that we have a very clear home field advantage this week. That's it for me. Like it's on us as fans, it's on us as parents and community supporters to bring that kind of atmosphere, right? They can't do anything about it on the field. That's our job as fans. So let's bring the noise. Let's have fun. Let's support these kids. Let them know that there are people behind them, and let's help propel them. Let's help propel them.
100%. The players talk about the difference it makes when our stands show up and are loud.
Yep.
And we need to show up and be
Big time.
Loud. Let's set a home field advantage.
I think that's the challenge. So get the word out, share it on your socials, get inviting neighbors and friends and family, do everything we can. Let's pack the stands and let's make sure this is a clear home game advantage for our Coyotes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Coyotes on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Go Coyotes.